Corner. We are visited once again by our friend and scholar, Rob Heverly, Professor Rob Heverly of Albany Law School. He is certainly more than me, a master of all things legal and tech at the same time. And he's going to tell us today about cyborgs. Professor Heverly, tell us about your work on human augmentation or cyborgs. What's the project about?
So this project started when a bunch of stuff came across my news feed or in my email about how different people were working on ways to embed technology in the body, and especially into the brain. And I don't know about you, but I would love to have like a little memory chip where I could like shunt the grocery list and just not forget anything on the grocery list because I saved it to like the USB stick or something. So I started looking into this, and right down the road from Albany Law at the Wadsworth Center is a guy who is doing work on actually implanting electrodes into the brain. And so his thing is right now working primarily with like Parkinson's victims and others, and they hook it up to computers and they try to do deep brain stimulation and other kinds of work that involves that. And there are lots of people that are doing work in this field. And then I found a newspaper report on the Times about him. And what he's quoted as saying in there is like, what's your end game? What do you hope to do with this? And he's like, fingers. And he pounds them on the table and he goes, this is not a way to communicate, right? We've got a computer with this depth of power for dealing with information. And we've got our brains with this breadth of knowledge, and we get it all in there with this. And that's dumb. It should go right from here into there. So his end game is computer connected to the brain. And I started thinking, wow, that's interesting and slightly scary. And what would it mean for law and legal policy? So that's what I've been looking at since it came across my radar.
That is so fascinating. Well, so this seems like the rational first question. What makes somebody a cyborg? I mean, we are all augmented, at least a little part, by having glasses or hearing aids or cell phones. There we go. Do we qualify already?
So there's a whole field of people who argue that we are and have been cyborgs since we started writing stuff down. So anything that was outside the body that augmented our functions, like memory, for example. For me, in this project, a cyborg is somebody who has essentially computerized technology embedded in the body, something that required a surgery to get in. Because while this is like this thing that I need and I have to have it and it's got information in it, like my son's was dying, and so we got a new one. And about 3 hours after we started the new one up, he was pretty much set. He was coming back every once in a while going, this game didn't update right, or this, can we get my WhatsApp messages back? And but it was mainly 3 hours up. Whereas when we start putting this stuff into our bodies, you're not going to be able to just change it out. It might be an operation to get the old tech out. And so I started thinking, what are the implications of that if what we have is stuff that's embedded within the body? I actually didn't think this would be controversial, but a lot of times when I talk about this project, people are like, nah, there's no difference. And I think there is a real difference between stuff embedded, and especially if you're putting it in the brain, right? Think about, which iPhone do you have in your brain? Oh, I'm still on an iPhone 6, right? And then they've got the iPhone 14. So we have issues, I think, in terms of stuff once we put it in the body that we don't have when it's tech that's outside the body, whether it's my glasses or whether it's my cell phone.
So this is really another reason for teenagers to shame one another and some such things for not updating your tech fast enough. But this is, yeah.
I mean, that's partially the thing, right? Is that this is, as we embed it within the body, will it be status? Will it be, will it be the sneeches, right? With some who have the ponderers and others who do. So there are definitely going to be a lot of equity and social justice issues around who has access to this stuff. But there are also just going to be issues like, okay, I bought something here and it's been embedded into my arm because my arm wasn't working right, and this helps with things. And now I go to Europe, where that technology is protected by a patent that wasn't patented in the US. Now I have a patented device in Europe. If you use a patented device without the authority of the owner of the patent, that's a violation. You don't have to intend to use it. There's no there's not like a bunch of personal exemptions. So how are these different legal things going to change? Will I not be able to go to Europe because the piece that I bought or embedded within my body has some sort of patent to it, or it's trademark violation, or all sorts
Yeah.
of.
No, so that's fascinating, right? Because in addition to those questions, the one that's right on the money, I think, in the same vein, but a little more traditional, is who owns it? What if I'm on a payment plan and I stop making payments? Is the repo man going to show up to take that thing back? How is the law developing here? What are the legal implications we should be worried about?
Well, I don't really know because it's not really on people's radar yet.
Right.
So, and that's why I'm trying to sort of do the opening piece. There have been a couple pieces that talk about technology, and a quite good one on sort of called the Internet of Us, made up of people, because you could have Wi-Fi on your person, right? I mean, certainly the Google glasses had it, and now there are some other technologies with glasses coming out. Those were Wi-Fi connected, and you could, do stuff as you're walking around, and they video record. So I just, the project for me, I think at this point, is to identify what those issues are, and then to start to try to lay a framework for how we might address them as the technology gets further developed.
Professor Heverly, we are looking forward to seeing how this one turns out. Please keep us posted. Thank you for visiting us at the Dean's Corner. We hope to see you soon.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Bye.